40. When Brigadier General Nakamoto entered the room upstairs with Zamba at his side, he was met with another wave of loud, lustful laughter. A group of goddamn bastards had got in one step ahead of him. The laughter stopped. At one end of the room, where everything had been turned upside down, stood two soldiers. Their smiles died on their faces when they saw the general come through the door. "Kuruda!" one of the soldiers shouted. "Come out now! Wait your turn, you know!" came the reply. "Get the hell out of here now!" barked Zamba, the general's orderly. The two soldiers moved towards the door. Zamba slapped each man hard in the face and gave each 2 kicks in the ass before letting them go. Then Nakamoto saw Kuruda stagger out of the bedroom, still fumbling with his belt buckle. The soldier mumbled in protest. The next instant, he glimpsed the general and froze, his eyes nearly popping out with terror. Nakamoto was dizzy with anger. The insolent bastard! Wasn't this the newly commissioned officer who didn't even know how to dispose of those prisoners that day? Nakamoto's grip on the handle of his Sadamitsu tightened. "Get the hell out of here!" Zamba barked again. "Or I'll skin you myself!" Shaking uncontrollably, Kuruda dragged himself a step or 2 forward, then froze again. Nakamoto had already drawn his sword. With blinding speed, he raised it into the air and struck. Kuruda's head tumbled from his body as blood shot forth, spraying onto the ceiling. The warm, salty drops fell all about the room and on Nakamoto's face and glasses. Nakamoto stepped over the fallen body and walked to the room where Kuruda had just emerged. An old man was sprawled on the floor. Blood had stopped oozing from a hole in his back. Something large and dark lay against the wall, a coffin. And on the floor next to the old man was the Huagunyang. Her eyes were closed and her face was bruised and swollen. She had been half stripped. Her pants were pulled down to her shins. Bruises covered her pale legs and belly. And as for her thighs, she had been devoured. She was not the Huagunyang he had seen anymore. Tonight, he wouldn't be able to sit by the window, watch the snow falling, sip warmed sake, and listen to the tinkling sound from the bathroom. Seething with rage, the general raised the blood-bathed sword again. He let it fall. Something descended upon him suddenly, something tiny, primal, unearthly, a blur of a feathered, whirling fury. Whatever it was, it caused his sword to miss its mark, and he checked himself as it fell upon him. The whirling blur launched a fierce assault upon his face and head, thrilling shrilly all the while. He tried to shield his eyes with his hands as its fierce, razor-like pricks were landing on his head, his nose, and his cheeks. It struck again and again, moving and fluttering furiously. It was Nakamoto's turn to be terrified now. He had all gone horribly wrong. The prune tree had beckoned him only to make him see a defiled girl and suffer an attack by some winged devil. Would he still be enshrined atop Kudan Hill in Tokyo? What would he come back as in the next life? It didn't matter. Nothing mattered, as long as it was not a filthy, disgusting toad. "Okasan!" the general screamed suddenly and ran out of the room, right past Zamba and out the door. Once he was atop the mare that had been tied to the plum tree in the yard, Nakamoto spurred it urgently and galloped away, never looking back down that alley.